Have you ever listened to an English podcast and thought, I know these words, so why can't I understand anything? If you've ever felt that way, you're definitely not alone. And here's the good news. The problem probably isn't your vocabulary. It isn't your grammar. And it definitely doesn't mean you're bad at English. The real problem is that nobody teaches you how to practice listening correctly. Most people think the solution is simple. Just listen more. But if that really worked, everyone who listened to podcasts every day would have amazing listening skills. The truth is, it's not about listening more. It's about listening smarter. In this video, I'll show you the exact 5-step method I recommend to my students to help them understand difficult English podcasts much faster. And don't skip the last step. It's the one that makes the biggest difference. One of my students used to listen to English podcasts every morning on his way to work. After almost 3 months, he told me, I'm spending all this time listening, but I don't think I'm getting any better. So I asked him, what do you do when you don't understand something? He said, nothing. I just keep listening and hope the next sentence is easier. That's exactly what most English learners do, and that's why many of them stop improving after a while. Listening isn't just about exposing yourself to English. It's about training your brain to recognize real spoken English. And these are two very different things. Let's start with the biggest mistake, trying to understand every single word. Think about it. When you're watching a movie in your own language, do you pay attention to every single word? Probably not. You naturally focus on the overall message. The same thing in English. The first time you listen, ask yourself simple questions. What's the topic? Who's speaking? What's the main idea? That's enough. If you only understand 30%, don't panic. That's completely normal. Your first listen is just to give your brain a roadmap. The details will come later. Here's another mistake. Most learners play an entire 20-minute podcast from beginning to end. Then they immediately start another episode. Instead, try this. Break the podcast into short sections about 30 to 60 seconds each. Listen to one small section until you understand it. Then move on. Your brain learns much better from small, focused practice sessions than from long, passive listening sessions. And in the next step, I'll show you how to use transcripts in a way that actually improves your listening instead of making you depend on reading. Now let's talk about something that almost every English learner uses, the transcript. But here's the problem. Most people use it the wrong way. They open the transcript before they even press play. And if you're reading while listening, you're not really training your listening skills. You're training your reading skills. Here's what you should do instead. Listen to the audio first. Even if you understand only a little, that's okay. Then open the transcript and compare what you heard with what the speaker actually said. You'll probably notice something interesting. Most of the time, the problem isn't vocabulary. The problem is how native speakers connect words together. For example, instead of saying, "What are you doing?" a native speaker might say, "What ya doing?" Or instead of "going to," you'll hear "gonna." The words haven't changed, only the pronunciation has. And the more you notice these patterns, the easier listening becomes. Here's where most of the real learning actually happens. Now close the transcript. Go back to the same 30-second section and listen one more time. This time, you'll probably understand much more than you did before. Not because the speaker slowed down, not because the audio changed, but because your brain now knows what to listen for. This is exactly how listening improves. So don't be afraid to replay the same short section 3, 4, or even 5 times. That's not wasting time. That's how your brain builds strong listening skills. But we're not done yet. There's one final step that can speed up your progress more than anything else. And surprisingly, it's also the step that most learners completely ignore. And finally, let's talk about the one technique that can completely change your listening skills. Now it's time for the most powerful step. It's called shadowing. Here's how it works. Play the audio and try to speak at almost the same time as the speaker. Don't stop after every sentence. Don't translate in your head. Just listen and copy. Focus on the speaker's rhythm, stress, pronunciation, and intonation. At first, it might feel impossible. You may miss words or fall behind. That's completely normal. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to train your brain to think in English instead of translating every sentence. After a week of practicing shadowing, you'll notice something surprising. You'll start recognizing words faster. Native speakers will sound clearer. And speaking English will feel much more natural because your mouth is getting used to producing the same sounds you hear. That's why shadowing improves both your listening and your speaking at the same time. So, the next time you listen to an English podcast, remember these 5 simple steps. First, don't try to understand every word. Second, break the podcast into small sections. Third, use the transcript after listening. Fourth, listen to the same section again. And finally, practice shadowing. If you follow this method consistently, you'll be surprised by how much your listening improves in just a few weeks. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's the biggest challenge you face when listening to English podcasts? Is it the speed, the accent, or recognizing words you already know? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.